No, don't ask me that, please. Ballet what? What do you think? Привет, как дела? Меня зовут Рикардо Амаранте. I do ballet, blah, blah, blah. Все? Okay. Hi, my name is Riccardo Amarante. I'm a resident choreographer, guest choreographer in Astana Ballet, and I'm originally from Brazil. I decided to start ballet when I was 11, 12 years old, when all my friends, my girlfriends from the time were doing ballet, and they invite me to see their shows, their performances. And in Brazil, the public is really active, really strong. And when I see my friends performing and the public screaming for them, like euphoria they cause in the public, and the public applauding very strong, that's what made me want to go to the ballet, because I wanted that for me, for myself as well, to get the applause of the public. Well, I studied in Brazil, and it was great because we were performing a lot, doing a lot of ballet competitions around the country, and with that I got to travel a lot to know the whole country. I even got to go to London, to Cuba to perform, and for me, knowing different dancers, different cultures was the best from that time. And the possibility of performing really important roles at a young age, how you do in Brazil, and it was just great. And also, I consider my youth also when I went to study in Cuba, when I went to study in London, all through scholarships. I got invited to go and finish my studies in those schools in Havana, in London, and it was a great experience. Well, my whole career, I was like to be surrounded by amazing choreographers and amazing performers. I have to say, performing at Paris Opera Ballet, the Swan Lake, performing with Royal Ballet of Flanders, the Sleeping Beauty from Marcia Haide, performing in Cuba, and perform all the ballets and working together with William Forsythe for almost 7 years. We toured his ballet, Impressing the Tsar, all around the world, and I also performed in New York, Impressing the Tsar from William Forsythe, and he was there. We bowed together. It was one of the most unforgettable moments of my career. Well, I have many. I think when you become a choreographer and when you are a dancer, you have many special ballets throughout your career. You perform and you have a special place in your heart. I cannot only say one. Like I said, working with William Forsythe, all the big classics, Onegin from John Cranko, performing Giselle. I love all of them. All of them made part of what I am today. Well, my first ballet company was Paris Opera, which is considered one of the best companies in the world. And I worked there for a year. Then I worked for Jean Ballet de France, Youth Ballet of France, a company in Paris that today doesn't exist anymore, but it used to exist and bring the best young dancers around the world. So it was a great touring company. Then the Royal Ballet of Flanders, the company where I stayed for 16 years in Belgium, and had the chance to perform many masterpieces. Well, it's funny because A FUEGO LENTO was the first ballet I created here for when the company was already in this formation with boys and girls. I started with A FUEGO LENTO. And the last ballet I made was Longing. So in this next performance on 28-29 May, we're gonna have the first and the last ballet I made together. And they are both really special for me because they involve a lot of passion, a lot of sensuality, a lot of energy, tango music that it's really strong, really emotional, and they are very successful with the public. So those two, I really love it. I want the audience to watch the ballets and let themselves go wherever they want to go, and especially to feel emotions. Dance for me is pure emotion. When you're dancing, we're dancing because you want to express an emotion, a feeling. And when the audience gets that, I think it's the best. And they see great dancing, great physicality, but also the movements pass them a lot of emotion, and they get from the theater feeling lighter and happy. Yeah, I guess when you stop dancing, you're always gonna miss a little bit. But I have to say, having my performances here at АстанаБалет and around the world regular, being performed by other dancers. For me, I have almost the same feeling when I see the public applauding my ballets, my choreography. I feel like I was dancing, and so that's why I don't miss it so much. But sometimes when I have the opportunity here in АстанаБалет, I do small roles such as a nutcracker, I did B-bars, and I love to do it. It's very fun. Resting, listening to music, painting. I love to painting, to create costumes, to help my friends who are costumes designers to paint, to coloring, to Carnival, to listen to Carnival, to watch Carnival, which is something that I also loved, and I also create some Carnival. Yes, many times. For many years I went to do the parade or just to watch, and last year I created a completely Carnival virtual parade, drawing everything, and about dance. The parade, it was amazing, and I love Carnival. It's part of my culture, and for me, one of the most happiest moments of the year, where there's a lot of culture involved, a lot of costumes, a lot of dance, scenography. It's the greatest show on earth. That's why I love it so much. I love living here. I think it's such a beautiful futuristic city with people that are very welcoming. It's a very cultural city. We have 2 big theaters. I'm able to create my performance all year around with great dancers, and I just love it here. That's why I'm already going for my 5th year. Well, the dancers are a big part of the influence of my choreographer. I'm also very inspired by people, by the attitude of the dancers, but how each dancer performs. And of course, here they are like my family, so they influence me every day. I'm learning every day still with them. Every new choreography, I learn much more. I develop my choreographic skills here so much because it's more than 12 ballets in 5 years for АстанаБалет. And I just love working here, and they will influence me now, I think, for the rest of my life. Well, I have to say, I love Kazakhstan, but of course I miss my family, I miss the weather in Brazil, or some things that are different culturally. But I think Kazakhstan is so many amazing things too, especially the food and the people. So I miss, yes, but it's not something, oh my God, it's horrible. No, I love to live here, and I'm doing well. Movie, again, many, but one that I remember, The Notebook. I think it reflects myself, my ballets a little bit. It's a love story from a young couple that lives together their whole life, and myself, I'm all moved by feelings, by emotions, and this movie, I think, represents me well. One of those. Samba, from the samba schools in Brazil. And of course, all the musics that I choose from my ballet, because music is a very important part of choreography. Usually the first thing I choose is the music, because I like to be full of emotions that has to translate to the exactly feeling. And so I love all the music of all my ballets. No, never. Actually, the opposite. When I have a crisis which is not creative, I create something and that helps me. Actually, creativity, it's what makes me alive. If I ever have a bad moment, I think of a ballet, or I start to paint, I start to create videos. It's actually my way of living is creating. So it's my passion. Yes, in Astana I've been surprised many times. Every time I'm in a cafe or the taxi people, when I say I go to АстанаБалет, they say, "Oh, you're Riccardo Amaraante, from АстанаBalет." A lot of people, and it's really fun here in Astana.